German election 2017 polls latest, Schulz to fight back against Merkel in election debate. Martin Schulz is preparing to fight back against Angela Merkel in the only television election debate despite trailing so far behind in the polls. Here are the latest polls and news updates. The former European Parliament president will try to use the debate on Sunday to turn the tide against Angela Merkel, who is seeking a fourth term as German Chancellor. "I am not in the least bit nervous," he told Bild newspaper after media reports suggesting his predecessor as leader had given up hope of an SPD victory. "A successful duel can create momentum," Mr. Schulz also told the RND network of newspapers. Mr. Schulz's campaign got off to a promising start early this year, with thousands flocking to the Social Democrats, SPD, after he was chosen as candidate. But the boost in the polls has now ended and the SPD are once again trailing behind its current coalition partner Mrs. Merkel's Christian Democrats, CDU/CSU. In an opinion poll published on Friday, the gap was 17 points. SPD was on just 22%, a long way behind the Christian Democrats on 39%. The latest Deutschland Trend poll by ARD put Mr. Schulz's party on 23%, 14 points behind Mrs. Merkel's CDU and its sister party the CSU. Pepijn Bergson, Germany analyst at the Economist Intelligence Unit, said the first and only televised debate between Mrs. Merkel and Mr. Schulz takes place on Sunday. He said, "This will be one of Mr. Schulz's final chances to turn the tide, with his party currently down around 14 percentage points on the CDU in the polls." Although Ms. Merkel is not the sharpest debater, her strategy of not engaging with Mr. Schulz's criticism has been successful so far in the campaign. "We expect this to remain effective, allowing the CDU to win the largest share of the vote in the election on September 24th. Almost half the 61.5 million people eligible to vote are expected to tune into the debate, pollster Forsa found. Nearly two-thirds of Germans expect Merkel to win the contest while 17% expected Schulz to fare better, another poll showed. Mr. Bergson said, "Ms. Merkel has captured most of the middle ground in a country that has enjoyed several years of economic stability and growth, with a poll showing that 81% of the electorate are happy with their own economic situation, a historical high. She has thereby turned herself and her party into the default option for a large part of the electorate, who would clearly prefer stability to a shake-up of the apparently satisfying status quo. This has made it difficult for any challengers to come up with a platform on which to oppose her. Meanwhile, Mr. Schulz has been unable to capture the public's imagination with his emphasis on social justice and rolling back on hard labor market reforms." Mr. Bergson said, "The main question in the election is who will join Ms. Merkel as her next coalition partners. Current polls suggest that the CDU/CSU may need to govern with more than one other party, although the margins for this are small. Thanks you for watching. Please subscribe News2U channel. Goodbye and see you again.